1 Samuel 30 and 8, it reads, And David inquired at the Lord, saying, Shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, Pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all.
Ladies and gentlemen, so 2 years into this now. 2 years into this now, and unfortunately, what was known back on March 13th, 2020, by myself and others, finally starting to manifest itself. One thing that you learn is patience is indeed a virtue. It doesn't come easy. But once you understand the value of patience, it's worth its weight in gold. What we're seeing right now, what we're seeing continue is the only thing that's getting in a person's way or an individual's way right now is ego, arrogance, their normalcy bias, and their commitment or grasp of the world they thought existed, but it actually doesn't. So right now, people don't want to let go of what they thought they knew or understood or wanted to be about the world. So they're hanging on to it, they're grasping onto it. Because at this hour, if it were to be removed, a part of their existence will be removed as well. So the struggle is whether or not they will be able to survive that. Being able to survive knowing that what they thought was, I don't want to say necessarily true, but what was the consensus is really not. And that there are many more things, many more layers involved to their reality. Something happened to me back in 2009. See, I didn't really know it at the time, but several years after that, I kind of understood what actually was taking place is that I died. I died back in 2009. What do I mean by that? It wasn't a physical death. made a choice. I made a choice to kill off my ego. See, in order to really know who you are, your place in the world, you have to die. You become a new creature, just as Scripture says. But I made a conscious choice to let go of the things that I was holding on to, that I thought I knew about the world, that I thought I knew about myself. And I replaced it with diligence. Diligence and relearning all the things I thought I knew about the world, the real histories, the real science, the real deep core structures that actually exist here. I took a lot of time. I couldn't get enough of it. I was taking in so much information, trying to make sense of it all. But the thing that I want to say, what I'm trying to share is that the majority of people aren't able to let go of the things they're taught. Not only as a child, but you come up through school, teachings, you hold on to what your parents teach you, you hold on to these things, and these things become, or they feed into a so-called consensus, whereas everyone around you kind of assumes that things are the way they are because they're really that way. So they don't question, they don't choose to look deeper into things to see what their origins are, how things began, why we use the certain words that we use. Why do these terms and meanings change over time? Why are they changing? Why are they being replaced? Did these events happen as they were taught? Or were they other external factors or other things that played a part into the narrative of what we see and know today? Majority of people won't do that. Majority of people aren't able to. They don't want to take the time to figure these things out on their own. Which presents the problem. Presents a problem then, because you can be told anything that people want to tell you, and if you don't question it and a consensus forms, well, chances are you're just gonna roll with it. Today we live in a really lazy society now, where people want quick fixes or quick search and find out pretty much whatever it is you want to know, only using that first hit, not understanding that sometimes that first hit isn't necessarily the whole picture. And it takes time and effort to unpeel, unpack unpack a lot of these things. So you have to make the choice to destroy your own ego. Humble yourself. Don't be afraid to be alone with your own thoughts. Because it's in those moments where you're alone and you really decide to critique yourself, really look at yourself, make yourself accountable, reflect on your life, your decisions, your choices, your thoughts, your misdeeds. Face those things head on. And it's only then that you start to really understand what choice has to be made. Do I stay the same person I was before? Or do I make the choice to be something better? Do I let go of the childish things that bogged me down? You know, spending hours watching sports, playing video games, all that stuff. Do I let those things go and replace it with substance? Do I do what the world tells me is what men should be doing? Kicking back a bunch of beers? Playing games? Or do I focus in, try to find my purpose? You know, I'm not saying by any means that I have all the answers, that I'm this perfect person, and that I'm 100%. What I'm saying is that once you decide to be set apart, be accountable, kill your ego, humble yourself daily, it's only then that you start to really step away. And as men, especially as men, really settle in on having some morals, some guidelines, some principles, some standards that you're going to adhere to. Really adhere to. And make them you. Become one with that. It's only then that you really start to grow, where the waters start flowing continuously in you. You start breathing life into yourself. If you're not breathing life into yourself, what are you taking in? Think about what you're taking in daily. Am I taking in something of value? Or am I taking in something that, at the end of the day, doesn't mean a whole lot? So, in part 2 of this, I'm going to expound a little bit more, and I'm going to give my personal testimony story. And, I really pray that people understand what I mean by you have to die. You have to kill off a part of yourself. Because if you really think about it, if you think about today, what you're seeing, what's in front of you, The only thing that is keeping you tied to it is not knowing who you are. And see what's as clear as day staring you in the face. Fear is an interesting thing. Fear is very interesting. There's no limit to what a person will do once it's discovered, once it's known what they fear. Majority of people fear death. They fear dying. Over this last year, I spent a lot of time carefully crafting a message of building up your spirit, standing firm for a reason. I took great care in trying to craft a particular message. Building up your internal self. Maybe it didn't come across enough. Maybe I didn't do as well a job as I've liked to. But I made an effort to let people know that you've got to be strong for what's coming around the corner. You got to be strong. But more importantly, you have to be able to see, hear, and understand what's going to be asked, what's going to be required. I know your worth. Do you? Do you know your worth? But I just wanted to come through and let you all know that, I love you guys. Go back to some of my videos, rewatch them. Because the only way out is through him, through Yeshua HaMashiach, to get to the Father. I hope you guys are well. A guy that's passing through this life, and who's doing what a master did, which is share my testimonies and let you know that there is a way out. There is a way out with faith and belief and understanding who you are and the story that's unfolding.